Okay guys, here we go. Bow. So the plan this morning is practice on weapons, and I think everybody has completed learning the weapon routines they started. So it's really a question of taking a look, giving feedback. Does that sound about right? So I'd like you to take whichever weapon you want to practice with and practice with it. Oh, come and take a look, yeah? Okay. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to warm up. So here we are at the Kung Fu retreat in Thailand, and we're just about to start our weapon training practice using the traditional Shaolin weapons. I'm Ian, I'm the teacher, and I'm 2 times world Kung Fu champion, and I'm going to take a look at the guys and give them some coaching, give them some feedback on their weapon performance. So, hope you find it interesting. Maybe we can start by having a quick look at Buddha's son practicing with the straight sword. Yeah. Important to understand that this is just a practice session. This is not a
I have a question
performance.
when I get started.
Got a question? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to play around with it a little bit more. I feel like I'm swinging it wrong. Is it supposed to be kind of more, if that makes sense, more the wrist and kind of Tantian coming through the wrist? Because I'm using these kind of full, like slicing motions like I do with the Tantao, and it just doesn't feel...
Okay, so we definitely don't want to use it like a tentao because it's not that curved slicing blade.
Yeah.
So what I suggest, I'll take the weapon for a moment,
Yeah.
is that you kind of work it back. Okay, what are we actually trying to do? We're using just the end, the very sharp end, to slice.
Okay.
It's not a heavy chopper. We're not trying to cut through bone. Yeah. So more accurate slicing through the neck, through the tendons on the leg, through the wrists, the inside of the arm, inside of the leg. Or, yeah, obviously piercing. But it's accurate slicing to cut arteries, cut tendons and the like. And we want to get a kind of flicking, slicing movement that would cause, it's got to go through fast. You run a sharp blade very fast through something and it'll make a deep enough cut. Yeah. So we're trying to make that kind of whipping, slicing movement it's not pulling a long blade through, it's just slicing with the end. Yeah. Now, joints, okay, the ankles are loose, the knees are loose, every joint, the waist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Yeah. Then you get that nice kind of cutting movement. Plenty of flexibility from the wrist. All the other movement comes through the body, but the wrist is the last one in the chain that directs the flow of the energy.
Okay.
You can feel whether you're getting the right kind of cut or whether you're not. So that's the way that you work it through. The outcome is what we're looking for. We want that correct type of outcome where you get a really effective slice. If you're getting that, then what your body's doing is right. If you're not getting it, then what the body's doing is wrong. So rather than think about what your body's doing and then see if the move comes out right, try to naturally get the move right, and then, okay, you know the body's doing the right thing. Yeah?
Yeah, so if I'm hearing you correctly,
Okay.
start by focusing kind of on that precision
Absolutely.
cut
Yeah,
and kind
yeah,
of working
yeah.
backwards and trying
Yeah.
to get the energy through there with those slices. And if I'm doing it right, my body will do it.
Exactly, yeah. So to go, think of using the end of that like a razor, like a craft knife. I don't know if you call them Stanley knives. Do you use that term in the States, Stanley knife?
No. Are you talking about like a razor blade in the, like a box cutter type thing? Or?
Yeah. One of those types of very, very sharp blade, like a scalpel, like a kind of scalpel type blade. And it's very sharp and it's going to really slice when it makes contact. Without, if it's going fast, you don't need to put physical force behind it. That's going to slice through. And we're not looking at like trying to slice a head off. It's not that kind of thing. Once you've cut through the soft tissue, the job's done. The job's done. You cut through the soft tissue of the wrist, the job's done. You don't have to take the hand off. You cut through here, you cut the arteries. You just cut here. Just cutting through here, you've cut the tendon, the leg goes. Yeah. The same for this tendon. The hamstrings at the back. You know, there's so many points on the body. Slice them, yeah. Take a step back because the opponent's finished. Yeah.
So extreme precision.
Yeah. So that's why to master the weapon you have to practice hard because you've got to be accurate with it. Whereas, like say we took the 9-ring executioner's knife. I mean that's a whacking, great, big, heavy chopping blade. That would take a head off. There's no doubt. That'll take an arm off. We're not trying to hit precisely at the right point. It's just like whack, slice, chop something. That'll go through bone. That'll go through bone. That's a different type of thing. This is kind of accurate, subtle slicing. There you go. Yeah, enjoy slicing away. Okay. So now I'm going to take a look at Afir, and Afir is practicing with the iron rulers, and the iron rulers are 2 metal rods, basically 2 short iron bars. So let's take a look. Yeah, that's it. Take a look at these. pretty long routine, and well,
They're still very heavy.
yeah, that's the problem with these, that they are very, very heavy. So they're quite difficult to actually manipulate and spin. Your spinning with the wrists is coming on well. That's got much better. It's got much better. But still work on it. The neater the spin, the better, and then gradually you should be able to speed it up. Let me think. So we're going to start off spinning, then yeah, that initial spin. So I'll make it neater, and then a little bit sharper, moving into that pose. Yeah, there. Let me just think. There. Yeah, we can do a spin to start with, then another spin like that. That's going to look better. Yes. I think we were practicing to do, hang on, yeah, this sort of spinning right around. It'll need to be, hang on. Yep. But this kind of spin here looks neat. Do that again. Yeah. Cross the wrist this way, spin around, spin around, spin around, spin around. Yeah. We want to get as much circle as possible from these, you know, circling right around, circling right around. Yeah. Circle first, then make the posture. Yeah. Hold on. There. And there. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of this spin, let them kind of come right around before you come out. Yeah. And okay. Now if this one's down here, it's got to flick all the way up to there. Yeah, there.
Basically just cutting it short.
Sorry?
I was basically just cutting it short.
Yeah, you're cutting it a little bit short. Then when you get it down to, let's say the right's down there, then from there, you want that movement coming up. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So, lots of movement. Once you get into the routine, yeah, it's pretty good. Just keep lots of movement, make the movements a bit bigger. I think, yeah, practice on it for a little bit. Thanks. So those iron rulers are really heavy, quite demanding on the wrists and arms. We're going to go and take a look at Ricardo practicing the Tantao, the Chinese broadsword. So, how are you doing with your Tantao? Okay, I think when you hold it, either this way, with it resting in the fingers, or this way, holding the guard. Yeah. Either there or there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Yeah, well done. So clearly you need to practice it quite regularly, so you don't have to think about what move's coming next. It's just in there and ready to come out. The ending bit there, that as we end it, you can get a really nice kind of ending movement there. This hand circles around, it comes in and then presses down. This hand circles around and down. And when we do them together, open the arms in, press down. And you're finished. Yeah. Most important thing for you, Ricardo, is to get it smooth. Yeah. Get the routine to be more fluid and more smooth. So wait a minute. It needs fixing. Yeah. Smooth slice. Everything smooth. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Here, just from there, continuous movement up into here, stab it out, pierce. Yeah, from there, up, continuous movement around. Yeah, give it a try. Hold on. From there, yeah, just continue it around and out to there. Yeah. Yeah. Show me that little sequence down to the side. So carry on from that move. Yeah. 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 Cut low. You're cutting for this tendon on the ankle. Yeah. That's right, yeah. There. And then back and around. Here, knees bent, looking through the blade. Circle, slice down, and around. Slice through the ankle. Round, yeah, so it comes right back and around here. Yeah. Shuffle. Yeah.
They came down with this or stopping with the blow.
Here, yeah. Here. So this could be piercing down through this point here, through the neck into the chest, or it could be making a defense in front against something there, or it could be stabbing someone who's down low. Finish them off and then slice, slice, yeah, slice. Have you got any questions about this routine?
No, so far, no.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, give it back to you then. Okay. Yeah, practice a little bit more. careful of your balance. Yeah. You okay to do one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check it from the beginning. Okay, yeah, so when we do these Kung Fu weapon routines, we often have a kind of burst of movement followed by a pause, then a burst of movement, then a pause. And that's your kind of yin and yang interacting. Movement, energy, dynamic, and then bam, still. And the stillness kind of brings the movement into focus. If you just have a rush of fast movement, it just gets lost. But when you have the pause, okay, then by contrast, the movement looks good next to it. A lot of your individual movements now you can make faster. So I need to demonstrate, I think. Where you're at now, there's your pause, yeah. That movement, speed it up, yeah. Another pause, yeah. That, yeah. Try to add a bit of speed in there. Speed means a more efficient cut. Yeah, there. Fast, slice. And then you have to relax. To get the explosion, it has to come from relaxation, and there. That one. Explode out more. So when you have this sequence of movement, it's still flowing from relax to explode. Explode, relax, explode, relax, explode, relax, explode, explode, yeah, there. But there, a little bit more of a pause, 1, 2, bam, then the stillness before you come out to do the next bit. And the explode can be really fast. Yeah, should be really fast. Then, you know, then a relaxation. You can get a lot of contrasts here. Really explosive movement into a smoother movement coming back. And it's like you're in control of your energy. It looks interesting. Yeah. Different types of energy, different types of movement, contrasting with each other. And then, yeah, it looks really good.
You talk often about flow, and
Yep.
here you talk about stillness.
Yeah.
So do you still have kind of like movement in the fact that energy is like maybe compressing before moving again? Or do you really stop moving?
Yeah. So I think there's two little questions in here that are slightly different. The first one, if you insert a pause, then it breaks the flow. So do you really break the flow of movement by pausing? And the answer is yes. Yeah. So we've had flow of movement's been going on, and then there's an actual pause. Yeah. And it's a stop point, it punctuates the rhythm. Yeah. Pause, and then you start to go again. So you flow, and then you stop, and then you flow, and then you stop. It's like you speak a sentence, and then you have a little pause, and you speak another one. That's how the Shaolin weapons work. Flow, pause, flow, pause. Then the other question that's it's creeping in there is, when you pause, do you store your energy, that energy that you've been using, the energy that's been flowing, does it just disappear, or do you store that energy ready to spring out? Yeah? Well, you know the answer already. Yeah. Of course, that energy that you've been using, compress it in your Tantian, store it up. You know, your body is still, but it's like a coiled spring, ready to, I'm going to get a bit further away, ready to come out there, boom, unload. So pausing doesn't mean kind of letting go of everything. You don't get rid of the energy. You're constantly changing the form of the energy. It goes into being stored like a compressed spring, and then it bursts out again when you pause. You don't lose the energy, but you can store it for a while, then let it go. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to take a look at Selena doing the staff. This is considered the most characteristic Shaolin weapon. the straight staff. The idea being that monks doesn't really fit with being a monk and slicing people up with sharp blades. So a simple, modest pole that's not going to do too much damage. You can hold someone off with it without necessarily wanting to hurt them too much. Fits more with the kind of monk ideal. And also that straight pole, it teaches you how to handle the pole, which is the basis of a lot of the long weapons. So whether it's a spear, whether it's a blade on the end of a pole, nearly all the long weapons are just a staff with a bit of metal on the end. When you can handle the staff, you can handle most of them. So I'm going to take a look at your staff routine to begin. Okay, yeah, well done. So you're going to think about concentrating energy at the point of contact. We've got to hit efficiently with the staff. It's basically a hitting weapon. You can't slice with it. You can't really pierce with it. I mean, you can hit with the end, but you don't really. It's just a hit. It's not a point piercing in. So we want to be able to hit well. Now, take the staff. Yeah. Energy down there, down to the end. There, there, yeah. There. The energy's concentrated just there at the end. When it's back there, you're not hitting anything. It's just there, right at the end. There. Back there, we're just getting ready. It's only there that you hit. So you've got to you build up the flow, you build up the momentum, and there, send the energy out. There, send the energy out. There, there. This one, there, down to the end. Keep the left hand up under the right arm, spinning around, there, out to the end. Bam, down to there, down to there, down to there. Every time, get the energy down at the end. Round, sweep, as if you were taking someone's foot away from underneath them, and then hook up. That could be a defense against something that's coming towards you. You bring it to the side, or it could be an attack against somebody's temple. Flick it up there. That's better. Down, down to the end. There, 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 there. And then try to get good energy into that one. That's the best looking move in the routine, yeah. So you've got to make the most of it. Yeah. you've got to get that feel of bang, hitting with it, yeah? And use your core, your hips as part of the movement, yeah? And at the end, all the energy from here has to channel down into the weapon. There shouldn't be any kind of wobbling around going on here. It's all there. The energy's all moved down to there. Yeah, that's it. That's good. Do you have any questions about this?
Not now.
Okay.
I'd like to work on.
Yeah, practice for a little bit,
Yeah.
and we'll take a look at Kyle's routine.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Kyle, let's take a look at your staff. First thing I want to think about is body structure. So for this staff routine, we're using a bow arrow stance. Back leg straight, hips facing the front, and the spine is straight, especially the lower spine here. Yeah. So why is that important? First thing, when we pivot, you want to turn. You want to pivot around as straight an axle as possible. Yeah. Now, we don't pivot well when we've got a bent axle. Straighten the axle, pivot around it. And also, as force pushes back, if you're trying to drive force in, if your back is bent, it's weak, and you push yourself back. When this is straight and this is in position, you're driving all the force down to the end of the staff. Yeah. Now, this stance is just a snapshot in time of the whole movement. So if I can take the staff for a minute. We start off like that. And you drive in with the back leg and you turn the hips and you bring the hips into the movement. Yeah. Bring the hips in, bam. Bring the hips in, wham. Bring the hips into the movement. So at the end, yeah, we're square to the front. But we moved into that position, and it's that driving that hip forward that's really bringing energy down to the end of the weapon. Yeah. Then the hips turn a bit more, bend the back leg, turn the whole body, drive in with the hips, the legs. So actually, hip movement is a constant dynamic through the routine. And as always, your power starts at the soles of your feet, comes up through the legs, through the hips, through the waist, down to the end there, down to the end, and up. So every time you strike with the power, the energy of the whole body. never just the arm. Yeah. And it's all about how you can efficiently channel all that energy from your whole body right down to there. That's the thing. Yeah. Have you got any questions today?
So I'm really arched when I'm doing it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're always got that tuck no matter
You're
what you're
striving to, well, this is a good point. That is a good point. Think of it. Okay, let's say we go from here, straight axle, pivot around the straight axle. Now I'm going to step forward. And while I'm stepping, there's going to be a hollow there. Yeah? Because you kind of relax and you go into movement as you step. So as my foot comes down, just as the foot touches, the spine's taking its S shape. Yeah. Now as I complete the movement, I push the tailbone down so that I finish with as straight a spine as possible. Now I relax a bit, the spine's going to very slightly bend to come up. Now during the shuffle again, the spine's going to want to go back to its natural S shape, and as I ground down into the stance, I straighten it. And at the end of the movement, should be dead straight. There, at the end.
Your spine is channeling the energy?
Yes.
So at the very end you get the...
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're constantly moving the spine. You want a lot of movement of the body. It's not, okay, we're not trying to be like that. We certainly don't want to be a stiff, straight, rigid, robotic movement. It's constant movement in everything that you do. But as you complete the movement, you lock into the strong body structure.
So it's a point of contact where...
Yeah, just before the point of contact actually, or as you make contact, you're locking into that really strong posture. It's like the back leg is straightening, yeah. The hip is driving forward, and you're taking the strongest body posture.
everything just
There.
comes together.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. It comes together at the very end, bang, yeah. And all your power is focused on one point. But then, as you transition to the next movement, you relax, and then you focus the power again.
Okay.
Yeah. And we don't want any stiffness in the transitions. Everything's relaxed, everything's fluid. Send the energy to a point, send the energy somewhere else, but never being stiff.
Okay.
Because stiffness restricts your energy, holds it back. By being fluid, you let it go, you let it travel. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, thanks. Yeah, have a little practice. How are the daggers going?
Good, good,
Good.
good. I just need to, I want to keep it up because I want to do film of it.
Yeah. Oh, good, good.
Um,
Yeah.
Just it's,
Yeah.
it was kind of rainy, and then
Mm.
I wanted to polish it a little bit. Just one transition
Yeah.
that I was working
Yeah.
on, which I think
Yeah.
is getting better.
Should we take a look?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Knowledge is more fun.
I know what I want to communicate, but not sure how to say it. In terms of energy and character into the moves, the way that you express energy, this character, yeah, character in the movement. Character in the energy, character in the pose. There's, you send the energy out. The whole body, your whole face, everything has to have the character of the technique, the character of the technique. At the end, you had to express that energy. So you think, well, why do you want to do that? Because you're practicing to gradually develop that energy, that character. That will help you win in a fight or in any other situation. Yeah, you look at the kind of the guys in the competitions, even if it's not martial art competition, kind of sports competition, that kind of attitude of they know they're going to win. There's so total confidence, total, well, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it easy. That's what we're trying to build up. It does make a difference. The guys that they've got aggression, but that's all they've got. They've got strength, they've got power, they've got aggression, but there's no flow, there's no kind of movement, picking off the right points. They don't tend to be the champion, yeah. The ones that have got the right energy, the right attitude, the right flow, the right pace, everything comes together and they've got it. You do the routines, you've got to find that energy, and then you don't have to apply it in fighting, you can apply it in everything, in life. Yeah, that's what we want.
Is it accurate to kind of have the moves build up to those explosive moves? Like you're kind of cultivating the energy. I guess one example is after this and kind of, I feel like there's all this energy and then I could really,
Yeah, of course,
really
yeah.
get that
Yeah.
expression. It's
Yeah.
all kind of coiling up
Yeah.
and then being released
So,
to a certain
yeah,
extent.
you're talking about how you channel energy in a routine, you know. You
Yeah.
move it, you build it up, you store it, and then bam, it comes out. Yeah, definitely. You can't, not every move can be the most high energy move.
Yeah.
You have to have the contrast. You have to have the point where you relax has to come before the point where you explode, because you can only explode out of relaxation, and not every move in a routine can be the most kind of wow move. You've got to pick the moves that you're going to really emphasize and put the energy in. And that's part of making it you, your personalization, stamping your personal character on the routine. You know where you're going to put the emphasis. You might be doing the same routine as 3 or 4 other people, but you make it yours. You put your own character on it. And most people, they won't know why you look better than everybody else, because they haven't spotted out how you're doing it. Yeah. You might get someone else, they're doing it, and they put a different emphasis on it, but it's just as good as you, because that's their version and yours is your version. But if you don't have character and you don't have energy, it will definitely look boring. Yeah. I think we're going to wrap it up for now, because we're just slightly past time. Okay, guys, so we'll take a break now and, yeah, have a short instructors meeting. I think not a long one today. So here we go, stand straight, bow. Yeah, well done, guys, see you in a few moments. So thanks to all the people who watched today. Hope you found that interesting. We're practicing very traditional Shaolin weapons from Minnan, which is the southern part of Fujian province in China, and trying to preserve the traditional art, genuine art. If you're interested in this, yeah, have a look at our YouTube channel, or even better, our website, kungfuretreat.com, because we live here, practice here, and do this stuff every day, and you'd be very welcome to join us. Thanks a lot for watching.